Good morning and welcome. How are you doing today? I'm Pastor Cindy, and I am glad to have a time with you and with the children this morning. This Sunday, we're going to tell the story about a time when Jesus met the crowd, and the crowd was so excited to see Jesus. They just knew that Jesus was going to do very important things. It happens on the time when Jesus is on his way to the cross. And I think you know about that time when Jesus was going to the cross, don't you? It was a time when he's on the road to the cross. And as he is on the road to the cross, let's do a little road here. As he's on the road to the cross, there are a lot of people who want to see him. So here's our Jesus. A lot of people who want to see Jesus. And Jesus wanted to see them too. There were some children that Jesus blessed. He was never too busy to see the children. He always made time to see the children, didn't he? So there were children that he made time to bless. And as he's on this road to the cross, and there were children. And there were his disciples, that went places with him, and there were women who followed him everywhere that he went, and so many people wanted to see Jesus wherever he went, and he always made time to talk to them. Sometimes he told them stories about God, and sometimes he just was with them, and sometimes he healed people and made them better. All these wonderful things that Jesus was doing wonderful things. Well, this happened on a time when he was getting very close to the cross. And before he went to the cross, he went to the city of Jerusalem. I don't know, do you remember the city of Jerusalem? That was the city that David made the capital of all the people of God. And it was the place where David was crowned and where King Solomon built the temple. So Jesus had to go to the town of Jerusalem, to the city of Jerusalem on his way to the cross. And he wanted to do it in a very special way. And so he told two of his disciples, let's get two of these. He said, you two, I want you to go over to that town over there, that next town, and over there you will find a donkey. And I want you to go and get that donkey. It's a donkey that no one has ever ridden before. And so he sent them to go get the donkey. And he told them, now, if anybody asks you, why are you taking that donkey? You just tell them that the Lord needs it. The Lord needs it. And so the two disciples, they went over, and there they found a donkey. I found a donkey. You know where I found this donkey? I found this in a nativity set with the manger, and it had a donkey, and I thought, we can use a donkey for our story. So there was the donkey, and it was tied up, and there's the disciples. Let's see, I'm having a hard time showing this on here. Okay, so there's the disciples with the donkey, and they saw that donkey, and they started to untie it. And some people saw them and said, hey, why are you taking that donkey? And the disciples said, the Lord said that he needs it. And so they said, okay. So they took the donkey to Jesus. And Jesus got on that donkey, and he rode on that donkey that no one had ever ridden on before. Do you like this donkey? Miss Sue painted that. That's Walker's grandmama. Miss Sue painted that for us. So she wanted us to have a Jesus riding on a donkey. And if you see Miss Sue, you tell her thank you, okay? So Jesus was riding on the donkey. And he was outside of Jerusalem. It kind of reminds me of when David said, my son Solomon's going to go be our king after me, when David was very old. And he said, put Solomon on my donkey, and ride him into the city of Jerusalem. And then everybody will know that he's the king. And that's kind of like what Jesus was doing. Jesus was kind of like Solomon when he became the king. and he rode on the king's donkey. This time it was a donkey that no one had ever ridden before. Anyway, all those people saw Jesus. And when they saw Jesus, they started waving pieces of palm leaves. They picked up palm leaves and they waved them. And they saw Jesus and they waved the palm leaves. And some of them put the palm leaves on the ground so that the donkey wouldn't even be riding on the dirt, that Jesus would be riding that on the palm leaves. And oh, you know what? Some people even put their coats and blankets on the ground. And there they were, the whole crowd. Some of them were waving the leaves that they picked up and the palm branches, and some of them were waving their clothes, their shirts and jackets, and all of them were shouting, "Hosanna! Hosanna! Hosanna!" Do you know what Hosanna means? Hosanna is a special word, and Hosanna is save us. And they knew that Jesus was part of how God was saving the world, and so they were shouting it too, I think. I don't think they knew how Jesus was going to save the world, but they knew that Jesus was part of how God was saving the world. So here they were shouting, "Hosanna, Hosanna, Hosanna," as Jesus rides that donkey into Jerusalem. When he was inside Jerusalem, Jesus went to the temple, and he looked around, and he saw the temple and saw all the people, and then he went back to where he was staying. And that's the end of our story for this part of the story today. We always ask I wonder questions, don't we? We always ask I wonder questions. I wonder what people thought when they saw Jesus riding on a donkey. I wonder if they thought he was going to be a king like David or Solomon. I wonder what people were thinking when they saw Jesus and the crowds cheering. I wonder if everybody was excited about that, or some people were worried about what might happen next. I wonder about Jesus, what he thought as he was riding on the donkey to the cross. What do you think that Jesus thought? I wonder what part is your favorite part of this story. We always ask those I wonder questions, don't we? I wonder what Jesus thought when he saw the temple. I wonder what Jesus thought he was going to be doing next. I just wonder. I wonder who you are in this story. Are you one of the children that are waving palm leaves? I wonder if some of the mamas and daddies got mad at the kids for throwing their coats and clothes and blankets on the ground for the donkey to walk on. I wonder if some of those blankets and clothes got messed up. Oh my goodness, I wonder. We always ask I wonder questions, don't we? We wonder about the story. And one thing we always do when we gather is after the storyteller tells the story, you tell the story, right? So how will you tell the story today? Will you take your Legos and make people out of your Legos? Or maybe you'll use blocks and make people out of blocks and make a block be Jesus riding along. Maybe you'll take some shoe boxes or other things to make a city where Jesus rides to. Maybe you'll make a cross out of paper for doing yours. I was thinking I had some toilet paper, and I made a little person in here, and I tried to make her look a little bit like me, so that she could be in the story too. waving and cheering for Jesus. I would like to wave and cheer for Jesus. Wouldn't you like to be part of the story too? You know, on Palm Sunday, that's this coming Sunday, we remember those crowds who are waving their palm branches. And I was thinking, I'm going to wave a palm branch this Sunday at home, even though we can't go to church quite yet, except, well, I don't have a palm branch. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go out in my yard, and I'm going to cut some branches in my yard, and I'm going to wave them on Sunday morning too. I'm going to wave them on Sunday morning too. Oh my, I wonder if you could help the people who do not have children in their home to wave branches for them to see. I wonder if you could send me a picture or a video where you are waving your branches, and we could make that part of our church worship online this Sunday and show pictures of you waving your branches. It won't be the palm branches because they just picked up what they had, and I don't have any palm trees in my yard, do you? But you could just cut off a branch from your yard. Or if you don't have any branches in your yard or scissors to cut branches, you could make a palm branch out of construction paper. And I think if you sent a picture of you or a movie of you shaking your branch and going, Hosanna, Hosanna, and we made that into a movie, then all the grandparents who can't be with their kids right now and all the friends who can't be with their friends right now could see you and wave their branches too, and we could all feel like we are together again. Would you help me do that? Would you help me do that? I guess I just gave you some homework, didn't I? Would you tell the story in your house? Make people out of whatever you have? And would you help people tell the story on Sunday? Send me a picture of you waving branches, saying Hosanna, or a movie of you saying Hosanna, and so that we can all feel like we're together on Sunday morning. I love you, and I'm glad to be your pastor, and I'm glad that we can still tell the stories, still tell the stories together, even when we're not together, I'll see you tomorrow morning at 9:30. Bye.